Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you might want to sit down for this one because we've got breaking news that's shaking the NFL world to its core. Reports are swirling, and I mean swirling, that the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, are seriously considering trading their star cornerback, Trevon Diggs. Yes, you heard that right, Trevon Diggs, the electrifying, ball-hawking interception machine who's been a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defense for years, might be packing his bags and leaving Big D. This isn't just a rumor anymore. It's a full-blown storm of speculation, and it's got Cowboys Nation buzzing with excitement, anxiety, and everything in between. So, grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into this blockbuster story, because this could change the entire trajectory of the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL as we know it. Let's start with the basics. Trevon Diggs is no ordinary player. Drafted out of Alabama in 2020, this guy burst onto the scene like a supernova. By 2021, he was leading the NFL in interceptions, with a jaw-dropping 11 picks, earning himself a Pro Bowl nod and cementing his status as one of the most dynamic defensive backs in the game. His ability to read quarterbacks, bait them into mistakes, and then explode for a game-changing interception is the stuff of legend. You know those moments when the crowd at a T&T stadium erupts because Diggs just snagged a pick and is strutting his signature celebration? That's the kind of energy that's made him a fan favorite, a household name, and a nightmare for opposing offenses. He's not just a player, he's a vibe, a culture, a walking highlight reel. But now, the unthinkable is on the table. The Cowboys are reportedly entertaining offers to trade this superstar. So why? Why would Dallas even consider letting go of a player who's been such a vital part of their identity? Let's break it down. First, let's talk money, because in the NFL, the salary cap is the ultimate chess game. Back in 2023, Trevon Diggs signed a massive 5-year, $97 million extension with the Cowboys. At the time, it felt like a steal for a player of his caliber, with a team-friendly structure that kept the cap hit manageable in the early years. But here's the catch. Starting in 2025, that cap hit starts to balloon, and it's going to hit hard. The Cowboys are staring down a financial crunch of epic proportions. Dak Prescott's contract extension is looming, and you know he's going to command top-tier quarterback money. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best wide receivers in the game, is also due for a massive new deal. And let's not forget Micah Parsons, who's on track to sign what could be the richest defensive contract in NFL history. That's 3 superstars, 3 mega contracts, and a salary cap that doesn't grow on trees. The Cowboys front office, led by Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, is in a tough spot. They've got to make some hard choices to keep the roster competitive long-term. And as shocking as it sounds, Trevon Diggs might be the odd man out. Trading him could free up critical cap space, giving Dallas the flexibility to lock in their other stars and build a roster that can sustain a Super Bowl run. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Diggs' injury history. In 2023, Cowboys fans were gutted when news broke that Diggs had torn his ACL in practice. It was a devastating blow, not just because he missed nearly the entire season, but because it raised questions about his long-term durability. Before the injury, Diggs was playing at an all-pro level, locking down receivers and flipping games with his playmaking. But an ACL tear is no small thing, especially for a cornerback who relies on speed, agility, and explosive movements. Reports out of training camp suggest he's making a strong recovery, and the videos of him moving in drills look promising. But here's the reality. There's always a risk with injuries like this. Will he return to his pre-injury form? Can he stay healthy for a full season? For a team like the Cowboys, who are laser-focused on opening their Super Bowl window, uncertainty can be a deal-breaker. If the front office has even the slightest doubt about Diggs' ability to return to his elite level, or worse, if they're worried about the possibility of re-injury, they might see trading him now, while his value is still sky-high, as the smarter play. So, What are the Cowboys looking for if they move Diggs? According to league insiders, Dallas is playing hardball. The rumored asking price is a first-round pick and a day 2 pick, either in 2025 or 2026. That's a hefty price tag, but when you consider Diggs' age, his pedigree, and his proven ability to change games, it's not outrageous. Several teams have reportedly shown interest, and the list of potential suitors is intriguing. The Baltimore Ravens, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Pittsburgh Steelers have all been mentioned as possible landing spots. Each of those teams could use a boost in their secondary, and they've got the draft capital to make a deal work. Imagine Diggs in a Ravens uniform, pairing with their stout defense to create headaches for AFC North quarterbacks. Or picture him in Pittsburgh, bringing some swagger to a Steelers secondary that's been looking for a true game-changer. The Jaguars, meanwhile, are building something special in Jacksonville, and Diggs could be the missing piece to elevate their defense to the next level. These are teams with playoff aspirations, and a player like Diggs could be the difference between a wild-card exit and a deep postseason run. Now, let's talk about the fan reaction, because this is where things get emotional. Trevon Diggs isn't just a player, he's a cultural phenomenon in Dallas. From his electric plays to his infectious charisma, he's become a cornerstone of the Cowboys' identity. Fans rock his jersey, paint murals in his honor, and flood social media with clips of his highlights. He's the younger brother of Buffalo Bills star Trevon Diggs, and the storyline of the Diggs brothers dominating the NFL has captured the imagination of football fans everywhere. The idea of Trevon leaving Dallas is, for many, simply unthinkable. He's not just a cornerback, he's a symbol of the Cowboys' swagger, their flair, their larger-than-life presence. Losing him would be like losing a piece of the team's soul. You can already see the debates raging on social media. Some fans are in denial, refusing to believe the Cowboys would let go of their star, while others are bracing for the worst, wondering how the team will move forward without him. Let's not forget the intangibles Diggs brings to the table. His chemistry with teammates, both on and off the field, is undeniable. Whether he's hyping up the crowd after a big play or joking around with Micah Parsons in the locker room, Diggs has a presence that can't be quantified. His signature celebration after an interception, a quick pose, a smirk, a strut, has become iconic in Cowboys Nation. It's the kind of thing that gets fans out of their seats and makes opposing quarterbacks think twice before throwing his way. Replacing that kind of energy isn't as simple as plugging in another cornerback. The Cowboys would need to find someone who can not only match Diggs' production, but also bring that same spark to the team. That's a tall order, and it's one of the reasons why this potential trade is so polarizing. Let's play out both scenarios. If the Cowboys trade Diggs, what happens next? They'd likely lean heavily on Darren Bland to step into the CB1 role. Bland proved in 2023 that he's more than capable, but taking on that kind of responsibility full-time is a different beast. The Cowboys could also use their acquired draft picks to target a young, high-upside cornerback in the 2025 draft. There's always free agency. 2 veteran corners are out there, and Dallas could sign one to provide stopgap experience while they develop younger talent. But here's the flip side. If Diggs stays in Dallas, the Cowboys have one of the most formidable secondaries in the NFL. Picture this: Diggs, fully healthy, patrolling one side of the field. Stephon Gilmore locking down the other. Darren Bland sliding into the slot or playing nickel. And then you've got Micah Parsons and the pass rush coming at quarterbacks like a freight train. That's a defense that could give even the most high-powered offenses nightmares. If Diggs returns to his all-pro form, the Cowboys could be a legitimate Super Bowl contender in 2025. But here's the bigger question: what does this mean for the Cowboys' Super Bowl hopes? Trading a player like Trevon Diggs sends a message. It says the front office is prioritizing long-term sustainability over short-term flash. It's a signal that they're planning for life beyond 2025, trying to stockpile draft assets to keep the roster fresh as their current stars age or command bigger paydays. But it's a risky move. A misstep in the secondary could expose the defense, putting more pressure on Dak Prescott and the offense to carry the load. If the Cowboys don't find a way to replace Diggs' production, they could be vulnerable against teams with elite passing attacks. On the other hand, if they pull off a trade and use the assets wisely, it could be a masterstroke, a move that keeps Dallas competitive for years to come. The stakes are high and the margin for error is razor thin. Let's take a step back and look at the broader NFL landscape. A trade like this wouldn't just impact Dallas, it would send ripples across the league. If Diggs lands with a team like the Ravens, Steelers, or Jaguars, it could shift the balance of power in their respective divisions. A cornerback of his caliber can change the way teams game plan, forcing quarterbacks to avoid his side of the field and opening up opportunities for the rest of the defense. For the Cowboys, losing Diggs could alter their identity, but it could also give them the resources to address other needs, maybe a stud offensive lineman, a dynamic running back, or another pass rusher to complement Parsons. The NFL is a business, and trades like this are a reminder that even the most beloved players aren't untouchable. Now, let's talk about Trevon Diggs himself. So far, he's been quiet about the trade rumors, declining to comment publicly. But if you're following him on social media, you know fans are dissecting every post, every tweet, every Instagram story. A cryptic emoji here, a blank stare there, it's like trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. Cowboys Nation is glued to their screens, looking for any hint of what's going through his mind. Is he frustrated? Is he ready to move on? Or is he just focused on his recovery and letting the front office handle the business side? One thing's for sure, Diggs knows how to keep people talking. His silence is only fueling the speculation, and it's keeping this story at the top of every NFL fan's feed. As we wait for official word, let's reflect on what Trevon Diggs has meant to the Cowboys. From his rookie season to his breakout 2021 campaign, he's been a spark plug for this team. He's the guy who can turn a game on its head with one play. He's the guy who brings the energy, the swagger, the belief that no lead is safe when he's on the field. Whether it's a pick six against a division rival or a lockdown performance against a top-tier receiver, Diggs has delivered moments that Cowboys fans will never forget. If this trade happens, it'll be the end of an era. But if he stays, it could be the start of something even greater, a chance for Diggs to cement his legacy as one of the all-time greats in Dallas. So, where do we go from here? The Cowboys are at a crossroads. Do they keep their star cornerback and bet on him returning to form? Or do they make a bold move to reshape their roster for the future? Either way, the decision will have massive implications. If they trade Diggs and it backfires, fans will point to this moment as the one where the Cowboys lost their edge. If they trade him and it works out, Jerry Jones will look like a genius. And if they keep him, they'll need to navigate the salary cap minefield while hoping he stays healthy and productive. It's a high-stakes gamble, and the entire NFL is watching. For Cowboys fans, this is a roller coaster of emotions. The thought of seeing Trevon Diggs in another jersey, whether it's the Ravens' purple, the Steelers' black and gold, or the Jaguars' teal, is almost too much to bear. But in the NFL, nothing is sacred. The unimaginable can become reality overnight, and that's what makes this league so thrilling and so heartbreaking. As we speak, the Cowboys' front office is huddled in meeting rooms, crunching numbers, and fielding calls from other teams. Every hour brings a new rumor, a new report, a new twist in this saga. We're going to be tracking every development, every whisper, every insider tip as this story unfolds. So, if you want to stay in the loop, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us for what promises to be one of the most dramatic chapters in recent Cowboys history. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate what makes Trevon Diggs so special. It's not just the interceptions or the Pro Bowl nods. It's the way he plays with joy, with confidence, with a chip on his shoulder. It's the way he represents the star on his helmet, carrying the weight of a franchise that's bigger than life. Whether he stays in Dallas or moves on to a new team, one thing is certain: Trevon Diggs will always be a game changer. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Are you ready to say goodbye to Diggs, or do you believe he's untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. This is breaking news, and we're just getting started. Stay tuned, because in the NFL anything can happen.